So I guess I should start when I was a child. I think I had an amazing childhood. I rode horses before I could walk. I grew up on a ranch. I was involved in every sport that my 3A school offered. My parents tell me that one of the first things that I told them when they would ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up was a doctor. So I've always had a heart for helping people, and I always knew that I wanted to be a doctor. So that was always my goal growing up. Another thing I remember about being young is that my first memories is of having a painful headache, and I would have them really often, multiple times a week. And my mom did everything a good mom would do. She took me to a pediatrician. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. She took me to the eye doctor. They said my eyes were fine. Couldn't tell me why I had so many headaches. And so I just lived with them, and it kind of became my new normal. Lived off of Advil most of the time, and I always took 4 at a time because that would help me get through the day. So fast forward to college. I was pre-med at Texas A&M. I had taken the MCAT. I was 21 years old and applying to med schools when I had somewhat of a crisis with the direction my life was going to go in. It all started because a family friend who was a retired medical doctor, highly acclaimed, had been working in the medical system for decades, and he sat me down knowing what my goal was and where I was going as far as applying to med schools, and he said, you know, I want you to really reconsider this. I don't think that medicine, being a medical doctor, is what you think that it is. And he said, let me tell you what my experience was. You're going in because you want to help people, but patients are going to walk into your door. They're going to demand a drug they saw on a commercial. And if you don't give it to them, they're just going to go to the next doctor that will. And you're going to do that all day long. And that was the first time that anyone had ever said anything like that to me, the first time I ever became a little disillusioned with the profession that I looked to become part of. And I also volunteered in hospitals, so I started to see that firsthand, and I suddenly was in this crisis where I was anxious and depressed and didn't know where I was going. I felt like I had wasted all of that time, and I still had a heart to help people and become a doctor. I just thought it wasn't possible anymore. And a really good friend of mine, Casey Ho, he was my study buddy, one of the smartest people I knew in my class, and he had been accepted to med school when we were sophomores, which is almost unheard of. And he told me he wasn't going to med school anymore, that he was going to pass that up and go to chiropractic school. And I remember the first thing I said was, don't people think chiropractors are quacks? Which is funny, me saying that now. And he said, no, chiropractors are about the nervous system. It's about helping your body to heal itself. And maybe that's something that you should look into if you're not going to go to med school. So that was my first introduction to chiropractic. And I was interested enough that I went to a Parker seminar in Dallas and heard these amazing chiropractors speaking and sharing testimonies. And I remember them saying, drugs don't heal your body. And it's like I had this aha moment, which is crazy for me to say now, but thinking, wow, yeah, our drugs don't heal the body. They said the power that made the body heals the body, and that your body heals itself. And so I became very interested, and I felt like that is exactly the profession I want to be a part of. So I went to chiropractic school. I started getting adjusted, and I don't think anything really happened with the very first adjustment, but very shortly after, I remember thinking, hey, I don't get headaches multiple times a week, and the strep throat I used to get twice a year, like clockwork, never happened again. And I started to just feel alive inside my body, and like that I was really healthy. And then 3.5 years later, I'm graduating from chiropractic school, and now I'm realizing that chiropractic is so much more than helping people with headaches or neck pain or back pain, but it's really about helping people to be 100% of what God made them to be. So this thing that I got into that I thought would be a cool profession, it's not a profession for me. It's really a mission. So my mission is to share chiropractic, and I hope that I can get to people and tell them before they suffer with things like headaches, like I did for 21 years, so that they can experience 100% of innate intelligence in their body working for them every single day. And that's why I do what I do.